This video is going to be the first of many of my convention tours. First up on the list is the big one. It's going to be San Diego Comic-Con. My first year was back in 2008. Woo! I will preface this a little bit. It's probably going to be one of my longer convention tour videos. I have lots to talk about. There's a lot to prepare for and a lot that I think you should know before going to this con. First off, what is Comic-Con? San Diego Comic-Con is actually one of the top 5 largest comic conventions in the world. It's the largest in the United States. It started about 40 years ago, I think in an LA convention center. Just a group of guys got together and like, hey, let's start this. And it grew and grew and grew until what it is today. In 2010, the con hit its capacity and actually sold tickets, and 130,000 people attended the con. And for the past 3 years, from 2010 to 2013, it has sold out every year. So the whole idea behind Comic-Con, hold on, let me read you their mission statement, okay? Comic-Con International San Diego, that's the full name of the con, by the way, you guys, is a non-profit educational corporation dedicated to creating awareness of and appreciation for comics and related popular art forms, primarily through the presentation of conventions and events that celebrate the historic and ongoing contribution of comics to art and culture. Remember that. Oh, Comic-Con is not about comics anymore. Read the mission statement. It's focused on comics, but also how comics are presented through pop culture nowadays. And you can check out more at their website. I'm going to put it in the description below. Second up on my agenda is getting tickets. So in order to get tickets, you have to go onto the website, which again is in the description, and you have to register. San Diego Comic-Con, WonderCon, and ApeCon, they're actually all the same company. So if you register on their website, you're actually registering for all 3 of them. So when they announce the selling ticket date, they send you an email with a link to it to buy the tickets. Click that link and it puts you in a queue, okay? You do not leave that queue. You lose your place in line to get your tickets, okay? And you could be like 100th in line. You could be 20th in line. You don't know. You do not leave. You do not refresh your browser. You stay there. Browser? There's a few options. You have the 4-day with preview night, you have the 4-day without preview night, and then you have the individual 4 days you can buy. But do not fret, my friends. There's a ticket resale. It's not impossible, okay? You guys can do it. Okay, moving on to my next section is picking up your tickets. Your tickets are not mailed to you. You have to pick them up on site. So when you get your ticket, you get your big free swag bag. These are swag bags, okay? So when you get your ticket, you get your bag. That's why I like going to preview night. If I'm in full costume, I don't want to be carrying around with that with me all day. Preview night is Wednesday night. What it is they open up the dealer's room, which I call the floor because it is massive. It's just the floor. There's usually no panels. It's just to give a preview of what the con is going to be like, how the area is set up, what booths are going to be there. That's the night that I run around and get all my free swag. The next section is parking passes. You don't know this is important, but it is, and I'm here to tell you. There is no place to park down there without a permit. You go online and you get parking passes if you plan on driving downtown. You have to have them to park anywhere. If you don't have a parking pass, anywhere else you'll be able to find that has parking is going to be ridiculously expensive. Hotels is the next section. I don't have personal experience. I live in San Diego, so I don't need to rent a hotel. If you are planning on staying in the hotels, know that the hotels know when the convention is going to be. They are like 3 times the normal rate during those days. Why? Because they can. And I will say there is a lot of other hotels in the area, okay? It's downtown San Diego. You guys can find something a little further away for a lot better rate. Right after hotels is transportation. You are in downtown San Diego. There are cabs everywhere, and there are pedicabs, those people on bicycles. There's actually a trolley that goes around downtown. Normally you have to pay for it, but during the time of the convention, it's free. Didn't know that, did you? Okay, now what to expect about Comic-Con as a whole. If you've never been to a con, it's gonna blow your mind. If you have been to a con before, it's gonna blow your mind. Be prepared. It's so overwhelming. And because Comic-Con is so big, especially in pulp culture, it's heavily panel based. The appearance of superstars and movie stars and guest speakers, spotlights on famous artists or comic book artists. The amount of people you see not only at panels but who are walking around at the convention. It's, okay, so cool. Not only is it in the convention center, it's outside on the street in the Gaslamp district. They have huge setups and giant tents of just stuff. So then you have the San Diego Marriott Hotel, which is right next to the con, and there's overflow panels in there. And the Grand Hyatt Hotel also has panels going on in there. And last year, like, there was a concert at Petco Park. There is so much things to do. Now jumping right into our next section I'm going to talk about is panels. Like I said before, this con is super panel based. They actually have a really cool schedule app available on most phone platforms where you can actually pick out the panels you want to go to and make a schedule for yourself. I really recommend doing that so you can organize your day around the panels you want to see. Leading right after panels is the lines. Oh my god, oh my god. Hall H is the room of all rooms. The biggest shows, the biggest movies have their panels in Hall H. Hall H seats about 6,000 people. Most small town conventions don't even have that many attendees. I hate to say this, but if you want to get into Hall H, you have to line up at midnight. Why this is a problem is because they don't clear out the room between events. You can get in the first show, the first panel, and stay in all day. Good and bad, I don't want them to change this rule because what if you want to see 2 panels in a row and they force you out? That's not fair. So it is completely fair what they're doing, but you have to prepare for it early. After that is Ballroom 20. Those are the 2 main rooms. Ballroom 20 is slightly different. I line up for Ballroom 20 when I get there at about 9 o'clock, and last year I got in. I was in the 4th row from the back, okay? Lining up at 8 a.m. and I sat through 4 hours of panels that I didn't even care about to get to the panel I wanted to see. Hey, let's talk about the masquerade. The masquerade is Saturday night. The masquerade is in Ballroom 20 and I've never had anyone who wanted to go not get in, so it's not like it overfills. If you're waiting in line, they pass out the tickets about midday. I don't know for sure. You can also pick up tickets at the masquerade booth, which is located right outside Ballroom 20. If you don't have this ticket, you don't get into the showing of the masquerade. My last notes are going to be about wearing a costume to this convention. I wear a costume every day except for preview night. What pretty much happens is I wear my best costume on Saturday. Saturday is the biggest day. It's when the biggest panels are hosted, the biggest stars are there, the masquerade is that day. I wear my best costume, which is usually my Harley. Thursday and Friday are up in the air. I wear whatever I feel like, whatever my friends are wearing if we're doing a group, whatever. Sunday is always my easy day because I am worn out. You're just dead by Sunday. If you want a little more in-depth, and I mean little bit by really not really, check out my How to Be Harley video. In that, I kind of go over how I survived Comic-Con in that costume. You can also check out my picking out shoes for a cosplay tutorial. This kind of goes over how I try to pick out comfy shoes wearing at a con. Whew! I think that's it. I wish you guys the best. This is the most amazing convention I've ever been to. And if you need any sort of cosplay inspiration, I'm actually going to attach one of my playlists in the description. It's called Cosplay Mashups. It's like a list of like 25, 30, and growing cosplay videos by fellow YouTubers. And I love looking at and appreciating other people's amazing costumes. So check out all those below and have a good day, guys. Bird. Shh, be quiet on the floor. Quiet on the set. Quiet on the floor. The bird needs to be quiet. Huh? Kevin's texting me. Huh? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm filming. My god, I can just talk about the con all day. This video can go on for 14 hours, I swear.